Well, back with us today is guest co-host for the week, Ms. Ashanti. Now, Ms. Ashanti, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Well, you
good
look
in
great.
here. Thank you. You too, Lonnie. Everybody's
good.
today. Everyone looks amazing today.
Well, we love having you here. And
Thank you.
up first, everyone remembers how NFL quarterback Colin Kapernick started a national conversation about race and expression by taking a knee during the national anthem in a protest on injustices against minorities. Well, one person who doesn't seem to be a fan of those protests is Cleveland Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert. Now, during a recent panel discussion at the University of Michigan, Gilbert said, and I quote, "There's a million ways you can express yourself, and you should do that for sure. Taking a knee in the United States of America while millions of people are watching, I think is a poor example." And when asked what would he do if his players ever took a knee, he said, "I hope we don't ever have to come to that." Now, I want to remind everybody that currently the NBA has a league policy that is against, they can't kneel during the national anthem.
So they just issued this because
Right.
of,
Well, they've always had that, the NBA.
NBA. The NFL
NFL
didn't
doesn't.
have that,
Okay.
but the NBA does.
And I also want to say that prior to the season, the league, the NBA League and the Players Association signed a joint letter for players to take more concrete actions in their communities to facilitate change.
That's awesome.
You know, and I think that's really great.
That's awesome. But I don't think there ever should be one without the other. I think if you do choose to take a knee, you definitely should back up that moment and actually do something about it in your community other than just taking the knee.
Which Colin Kaepernick has done. He's donated $1 million to different types of charities to fight.
That's a lot. I have a major question.
What?
Although it's against, obviously their policy as the NBA, doesn't the law overrule that you have freedom of speech?
Well,
I'm confused. Doesn't the law overrule the policy?
No. I mean, it's like if you sign a contract.
Yes.
I might be wrong, but if you sign a contract, that's an agreement, and you're agreeing to adhere to the policies. Like, there are certain things that we agree to on this show
As
not to say
representation
as
of
representation.
Tell a picture.
And so we agree to that. So yeah, you can go do it, but
then you can't represent.
Exactly, or you could get fined or something. I do want to say this about that whole Colin Kaepernick thing is that it was a peaceful protest. I would rather see him taking a knee than shooting a gun. I would say that. Or hitting somebody.
I feel like it's semi-hypocritical because he's saying, you can take a stance and you can make, a change, but then you're getting mad or feeling a way about him taking a knee. You know what I mean?
Well, I think I personally think, I'm not trying to dominate the conversation.
It's okay.
Telling you what I think. I think that he's a businessman. And he's looking at the business aspect of it. So he knows that some people are getting upset. It's just like with the NFL, they're trying to attribute the ratings. Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
I see what you're saying. He's seeing it as a brand. And sometimes when you look at it as a brand, you got to look at both perspectives because there are some people who will actually agree with Mr. Gilbert, and then there are some people who agree with Mr. Kaepernick. So that's exactly what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
But I think at the very least,
that's what I don't know for sure, but go ahead.
I think at the very least, he's sparking conversation, and that's what we need because people are ignoring what's going on.
That's
Whether
what
it's
I think too.
Black Lives Matter or whatever the movement is, he's created a worldly conversation,
I agree
and that's
with
what
you.
needs to happen.
Well, and I think that's the point that people that are protesting are trying to get across to everyone is that screw the business, screw the brands. We need a conversation, but more than a conversation, we need action. And for Colin Kaepernick to do that.
I appreciate it. You better also come with some sort of action that you're doing in your community to follow up.
But thank God for those people who don't just sit there when they believe in something different. Thank God for people like Rosa Parks. She was a symbol that sparked change. So today, Colin Kaepernick, you sparked change. So whether you agree with it or not, conversations are being had because of that movement that we needed to have for a long, dang time.
Yes, you better tell him, Jeannie.
Makes me angry.
Woo! Jeannie getting angry.
Reverend Jeannie.
money.
It's just those haters that
No, I'm
start
just
picking
trying to
apart those
understand
little things.
because I know LeBron James.
Yes.
He obviously is in the NBA.
Yeah,
Right.
and he
So-
plays on the team that Mr. Gilbert.
So we've never seen him take
Well,
a
they
knee.
have. Well, no, they haven't taken a knee, but they have done certain protests.
And
Like,
that's what I'm saying. He chooses another. What I like about LeBron is he doesn't just stay silent because he can't take
Right.
a knee.
Right.
He takes other ways to protest.
Yes.
Not only that, he has a foundation that actually gave $87 million to kids so that they can go to college. That is huge.
That's
well,
amazing.
also, it's important to realize LeBron is the man in the NBA. Okay, LeBron was with the Cleveland Cavaliers
Yes.
first, and they were losing. So LeBron, who was a free agent, if I'm not wrong, free agent, he went over to Miami.
Heat.
And Dan Gilbert, when I say a scathing letter, he sent a scathing letter
Oh, I
that was
remember
really
that.
bad. Remember?
Yes.
And he was so upset that it was teetering around like even Jesse Jackson, to quote Jesse Jackson. Oh my goodness. Jesse Jackson was like, "Hold up, bruh, hold up." He was saying it to Dan. You sounded sort of like a slave owner because he was so upset, right? And in that letter, I remember in that letter, Dan Gilbert said, Cleveland's gonna win a championship before LeBron. Honey, LeBron went to Miami, not one, but two championships. Then he came back to Cleveland and won a championship for Cleveland. LeBron James is the man. So if he want to wear a T-shirt, I believe if LeBron wanted to take a knee, they would let him take a knee. Seriously, because he's just an awesome dude,
Well, if you want to make a difference in your community, you can get involved in mentoring. You can get things done in your local organization.
Yes.
You can organize community groups and peaceful protests.
Yes.
Yes.
You were saying,
Peaceful.
Lonnie?
Yeah.
I believe in peace.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's just it, So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we talked about this. I feel good.
That's good.
I feel like I learned something.
I did.
Well, let me not go against the things I signed.
From taking a knee to taking time off, according to a recent article in cheatsheet.com, the amount of sick days employees receive may soon be cut. Listen up, guys. Research shows that when sick days are set aside specifically for days you feel ill, it encourages employees to lie in order to use up those days, even when they're not really sick. All right, so real talk, guys.
Yes.
Some of you guys, I don't know if you've ever worked a job that had sick days available to you. And if you didn't use them,
Lonnie.
have you ever been guilty? I knew somebody at this table was going to show some face. Have you ever been guilty, Lonnie, of pretending you were sick so that you could benefit from those sick days?
Hello. Oh, I'm so sick. So sick. I can't come in today.
Lonnie, so wait, you did because you had an engineering job.
Yes.
So how many sick days were you permitted?
We were, let's see, at that time, I think we were given like 10 sick days.
Dang, you had a good company.
And then we had like vacation
10
days.
sick
too.
days, a what? A month?
No,
No,
it
girl.
was a year.
A year.
What you
wouldn't
got
be
the
working.
bubonic plague up in your hood? Like, what's happening? No.
No, sometimes, you remember when I always get the asthmatic bronchitis, but not this year, thank God.
In the
Yeah.
name
No,
of
thank
Jesus.
Jesus. No. Usually, it knocks me out. It knocks me out for 2 weeks.
I know, but 10 paid sick days.
Okay,
is
but
not-
I'm
okay,
going
go
to
on.
say this
What happened?
about sick days because sometimes sick days are not like a physical sickness. It could be like you just stressed out. And I think sometimes you need to take a break.
Yo, exhaustion is a sickness. I don't think there's anything wrong with calling in and being like, but I don't get why you can't say that or why
Because if
would
you
do
say
this
that,
wrong?
then they be like, bring your butt to work, okay?
If you say, I'm exhausted, okay, go. Ring, ring, go.
Ring,
Say hello.
ring. This the real.
Hey, it's Adrian.
Hey, Adrian.
So you guys, I'm mentally exhausted.
Oh, girl.
I am mentally exhausted, and I'm gonna take a mental wellness day.
What?
My mind, my mental health ain't
You
right,
better,
girl.
look, let me tell you something. You better go and take some chia seeds and take a crap and come to work.
And I got
do
some.
some
I'll get
yoga.
them to you right now.
I would like to say I have perfect attendance
You do.
on the reel.
You do. Very good. But what's up for debate, though,
is the question, should they still get the sick day? Should they not? Like, what?
The
It
question, they
depends
want
on
to
the
give them
company.
less so that it's actually
Because
when
of
they're
people
sick.
like Lonnie. That's why they want to give them.
Yo, anybody out there mad at your sick days getting taken away? Look at my girl Lonnie. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't want you to be like that. No, but here's the thing. One thing I just want to say, because, you know, being a daughter of immigrant workers, family workers, they own companies. And when you look at it on a little bit more of a smaller scale, like those people out there who worked so hard to start up their companies and are, you know, have employees on their payroll, I couldn't imagine people abusing their payroll, you know, and absorbing all these sick days when you're not really sick that many times a month. So I think we need to be more responsible for sick days. If sick days were
It's mandatory. It's by
negotiated.
law.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think they put it in the budget?
Yeah.
Like, and then if you don't take those sick days, where does that money go?
Okay,
like,
but
are we
Ashanti-
getting a bonus afterwards? Where's
No.
that money going?
You don't
So
get
it's
a bonus.
Oh,
So
you smart.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to take those sick
Which
days
is
and
the
do something
reason
with
why
it.
I go, I'm sick. I'm so sick. Let me ask you ladies something. If you
Yes.
found out, seriously, because I am the queen of faking it, but if you found out somebody was faking sick, would you tell your boss?
Heck no.
I wouldn't
Why
tell
would I
the
do
boss,
that?
but I would. Okay, so I guess I'm speaking from a person from the Bay Area. I got so many friends who have startup companies, and I know how much it took for them to actually lease out.
So
release
she
a
would tell,
payroll.
basically.
No, I would. No, Ashanti. Okay,
What?
Your brand. If you started a company, when you start a company, if your own clothing line, and you know you have X amount of dollars to pay 20 employees, and you know one employee is abusing those sick days a bit, don't you want your girl Jeannie, who may know that she's abusing those sick days, to be like,
No.
yo, you're hurting my girl Ashanti, like. Accept your job, appreciate your job, or go give your job to somebody else who's
Jeannie,
deserving of it.
Okay,
Well, you
there's
know
a
what? I
difference
will
when you're
agree.
abusing it.
I will agree with you, Jeannie. What you're doing is you're saying you would go talk to Ashanti.
No,
That's
not
what
the
you
boss.
should
I would
do.
talk to my
You would
friend.
talk
Me
The
too.
friend
Okay.
line.
I said.
Oh, I wouldn't tell boss person.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
It's a difference when you're abusing
Yeah.
it. Like, if you take one or two because you know it's in the budget,
Right.
then you do that. But when you're abusing it and you're hurting
Yes.
everyone else in the brand, then that becomes a problem.
Like, real talk, I do the same thing to kids who cut school. Because I'm like cool cousin Jeannie, and I know a lot of like nieces and nephews and cousins who cut school. And I'm like, yo, appreciate that education you have. Because if you're not showing up for school and you're taking advantage of that attendance, give it to somebody who actually would
But we
sit
ain't
there
talking
and
about school. We talking about work, okay? Don't be telling
But I
on me.
will say this. I will say this.
I've
Every
never
day-
faked my sick day, y'all. I just
No.
want to put it out there.
Good
when
to
I was
know.
sick, I was sick.
And that's
Go
why
ahead,
I'm friends
Adrian.
with Pam.
Good to know.
I've never missed a day, but the point is,
Yeah.
you know, if you are thinking about ratting somebody out, we have some suggestions, okay?
Well, don't rat.
You know, don't do it.
Yeah.
Really consider your profession, where you are before you go running, because if you need your job, just mind your business, okay?
Exactly.
What were you going to say, Adrian?
What I was going to say was, you know, in America, so many of us struggle for jobs, to have a job.
Yeah.
And I think it's so awesome that, you know, before we get out here and we do the show every day, we pray. And one of our main things that we say, we open our prayer with saying, God, thank you for our jobs. Thank you that we have a job to come to. And I think if people retrain their minds to not think of how can I get out of this, and instead wake up every day and be so grateful that you have an opportunity to go and have a job. There are so many people in our country that are wanting jobs, that are looking for jobs,
Needing jobs.
that can't get the jobs that they want. So don't fake your sick days. Go in and be appreciative of the fact that you have a job.
But no. We gotta continue this
Appreciate it.
conversation. No, we're not talking about, because sometimes people use sick days for other things. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. You know, if you just don't feel like going to work, that's really sick. Or maybe
what
an
if your-
emergency.
Or
Right.
what if your child gets sick and then you have to take care of the child because you don't
That's
have
a sick
anyone
day.
else?
That should be a sick day.
That's a child sick day.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think that's a sick
Just
day.
saying.
Or something may come up. I'm just saying, something may come
Something
up. I
like
don't want
what?
people feeling bad. Anything could come up. That maybe you don't have your maybe you used your vacation days, so now you know you have some sick days too. See, my thing is, I think they should change their policies and give you everything all together, and you're able to use whatever you need to use.
You
That's
can
what
live
I
your
think.
life.
Yeah, so if you want it to be money or vacation, you have that option. Don't take it away.